Hey everybody, time has finally come. The last DLC for Final Fantasy 15 is here, episode Ardyn. As Final Fantasy 15 was technically the first formal endgame game I started playing, it's a little bittersweet for me. I mean, I'm Team versus 13, Team Nomura. I absolutely have my gripes with this game, but I'm also of the feeling that Final Fantasy 15 really was a good game. It it left something to be desired in maybe the story department in the base game, and I feel like the idea of adding some of my favorite features, being able to play as other characters, going to some of the more distinct and interesting areas in Eos, having that behind various patches, be them free or these episodes after the fact, was not a good move. And especially the whole thing with the multiplayer. As much as I like Comrades, I feel like a lot of the more story elements could have still been implemented pretty well in the actual game. And I'm guessing that's ultimately what the DLC was going to be, the last DLC after Ardyn. So maybe we'll be lucky enough and get some pieces of that in here, but I won't hold my breath. More interestingly, I want to know what happened to Noctis while he was in, I guess, slumber, if you will. But that, again, we'll just have to deal with what we have, because that's not coming out anymore. So this is the final DLC, this is the final episode. But yeah, as usual, we're going to do this the format I usually have. I'm going to play through the whole thing, beginning to end, just like I did with Gladiolus, Prompto, Ignis, and all of the collab efforts with Final Fantasy XIV, what was it, Terra, and what was the other one? Actually, I think that was it. Oh, and Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that was the one. Which was cool. They actually just added the Master Assassin rope for anyone who's actually already beaten it. So I was kind of worried I would never get that, because I had the one from the actual collaboration, but there was like a limited time one you got as well. And now everybody has that if they have this the collaboration beat. So that's kind of cool, because I think it looks a lot better personally. It's the original one from the first game. It's not the one from not Odyssey, Origins, which is still cool. But again, it's nice to have the original, Master Assassin outfit. So yeah, well, as you guys know, I don't think I'm level 99 yet, but I have a maxed out Noctis in terms of just equipment, strength, weapons, all that. There's basically not a single inch of this game I haven't already explored. I think this is going to be a pretty isolated episode, but the whole thing has already been beaten. This is, again, one of my primary, this is my first endgame series was this game. So, spoilers are on the table. If you come in to watch, you're coming for spoilers. That's endgame, that's how it works. But yeah, we're gonna play. There won't be any commentary. I'm just gonna naturally flow through the gameplay, record the whole thing, and then I'll give my thoughts when it's over, just like the last few. So, without further ado, let's get started. Just for context, I know there was a prequel, like a prologue to this in anime form. I've watched it. I'm fully aware of the context. I'm hoping that they're gonna cover some of that fairly in this content. I just personally have no idea because I'm going in blind, so I don't know. But the story is going to be interesting. I know that. I know from the trailer we've seen some of like the throwback and like flashbacks to when he was younger with his brother Somnus, etc. So I'm hoping they'll cover some of that. But yeah, there is a prologue anime. So.
Long ago, there lived a man, blessed by the gods and revered by the people as their savior. His name was Ardyn Lucis Kylum, and he was to have served as the first king of Lucis.
Tension between the two countries remains high, with neither nation showing signs of backing down. In other news, a member of the Border Patrol has been reported MIA since sometime before dawn this morning. The missing officer has been identified as 28-year-old Mars Sapientia. Although Officer Sapientia allegedly reported for duty at his appointed time, fellow officers say he disappeared soon after and has not been sighted since. Officer Sapientia is a tall, fair-skinned male, and was last seen wearing his Border Patrol fatigues. Anyone with information on Officer Sapientia's whereabouts are requested to contact the Crown City Police immediately. And now a word from the Public Information Bureau. Today marks the anniversary of the founding of the Kingdom of Lucis. The Founders Day Committee has prepared a number of attractions in honor of this auspicious occasion, including a parade around the Citadel as well as a statue of the Founder King himself. All are welcome and encouraged to participate in today's festivities. This has been a message from the Public Information Bureau.
What about you?
Now, on to the weather.
Shouldn't you be looking for your buddy?
Today in the Crown City, we expect mild and sunny weather with nothing but blue skies.
I'm on
The
special
Borderlands
assignment.
may experience some inclement weather, starting in the evening and continuing throughout the night. That concludes today's news and weather.
Home, sweet home at last.
Welcome to the Founders Day Festival. In a moment, the parade will begin making its way through the city. King Regis is scheduled to participate in the festivities, circling the Citadel alongside the statue of the Founder King, Somnus Lucis Chiron.
So this is the city Somnus built. Built on the back of his own flesh and blood. Just look at them, free of care and unaware of the war beyond their wall.
In order to ensure the safety of all festival goers, we ask that you please follow all staff instructions. Vehicular access will also be limited in some areas around the Citadel for the festival's duration. In addition, traffic will be stopped entirely during the parade. We thank you for your cooperation.
What need is there to worry when brick and mortar blinds them to the suffering outside? Why venture out into the world when you feel so safe within? What a life to live. This is the statue of the Founder King? I see the sculptor took quite a few liberties.
So what do you think, son? Not every day you get to see the king's personal bodyguards up close.
They're so cool! I want to be a royal guard someday!
And that must be the king's castle.
We should. No, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, let the fireworks begin!
Okay.
Right, let's go!
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, Ardyn, you can't expect me to believe that.
Oh, but I do. You have my word.
Well, in that case... You look exhausted, my love. Are you all right?
I am. The gods bless me with a power and a purpose to cure people of what ails them. I must see their will be done.
Your devotion shall not go unnoticed. The gods will doubtless be watching over you. Just as I shall be watching over you every step of the way. It seems to me the cure for your exhaustion is comprised of two things, one of which is rest.
Oh? And the other?
Is me.
Oh, Era, pray be with me, always.
He's alive. Just as the ancient texts told.
Who?
Take him away.
Don't touch me.
Status report. Everything is fine here.
Roger that. We'll transport the subject to your location.
And we'll have the medical team ready as planned.
What's the situation over there?
Nothing to report. We're just...
Adagium sighted!
Adagium?
Get it back in the cell, no matter what. We can't let that thing off this island!
Stop. Cease this. Cease this.
At once!
Stay back!
Out of my way! Damn monster! This is not fun! Must I atone?
These memories are not my own. Could they be his? I didn't purge him of the scourge. I bestowed it upon him. Incredible. His power's unbelievable. Hey! Era. Somnus.
Forgive me, brother, but the throne seats only one.
Era! Gods, no!
Ardyn.
Ardyn Azunia, Chief Besithia would like to see you.
Nothing here to interest me. Nothing here to interest me. Might as well head out. I dare say this outfit wasn't tailor-made. Not the most enthralling view.
Come, have a seat.
Gods above, we thank you for the bounty you have laid before us.
Don't want your food getting cold, do you? Are you enjoying your stay?
No.
You've been asleep for years. Learning to appreciate the waking world will take time. Perhaps I can help enlighten you while we dine.
How long has it been since you brought me here?
204 days. Roughly 7 months or so. Then again, the Lucians had you locked away in that prison for nearly 2 millennia. I'd be more surprised if you hadn't lost all concept of time. You must loathe those Lucians for what they did to you.
What is this food?
Meat, cloned in this facility.
Cloned?
We cultivated somatic cells, used them as donors to fuse the nucleus transplant cells to the recipient oocytes, and then we—
Enough! I've no ear for the ramblings of a lunatic. Was your examination of me a fruitful one?
Oh yes, you've proven far more fascinating than expected. No wonder they kept you locked away. To think the powers of a demon could dwell within the heart of a man, it's incredible. The Star Scourge doesn't sap your life force, it gives you more. Your cells can regenerate themselves, and you can demonify other life forms as well. There's no doubt you are
A monster.
not a monster, a marvel. I can't wait to unravel all your mysteries.
What is it you want from me, anyhow? What about me interests you so?
You said it yourself, didn't you? You were chosen by the gods. And frankly, with powers like yours, I'd say you're nearly a god in your own right. We need those powers that you possess. With your strength on our side, we could finally put an end to the gruesome war with Lucis. You too must desire the fall of the kingdom that cast you into exile.
My desires are all in the past.
The man who wronged you may have died long ago, but his descendants live on to this day. Surely you must bear them some feelings of ill will.
My feelings are none of your concern.
Come along. This is the fruit of my labor. A small portion of it, that is. I envy you. A human life is too short to truly understand all there is to know about the world. Go on, have a look.
Oh.
Do watch your step, won't you?
Demons were first officially recognized as a new species roughly 200 years ago. According to ancient texts, however, humans have suffered from a parasitic plague wrought by the demons for upward of 2 millennia. Demonification is caused by a mutant strain of plasmodia that takes root in living creatures and changes their cellular structures. Infected creatures begin to disperse miasmal particles, the spread of which is known as the Star Scourge. This model is a replica made from plaster poured into a demon-shaped cavity discovered deep underground. Demons sublimate when their vital functions cease, so this particular specimen must have vaporized after the mud around it had already solidified. Scientists believe this subject burrowed into the earth in order to shield itself from the light of the sun.
Adagium. That is what the Lucians call the monster they imprisoned for 2,000 long years. His powers surpass those of any mortal, and his body is all but impervious to attack. It's no wonder the Founder King sealed him away on the Isle of Angel Guard. He undoubtedly feared this monster might challenge his reign. It seems fortune smiles upon me. Though the Lucians kept him locked away for 2,000 years, I've managed to secure Ardyn for myself. The raging winds and stormy seas may have cast all others away, but the waves parted for me that day and led the way. While I've yet to conduct any official research, the potential he proved in combat was most promising. I estimate his powers easily surpass anything mankind has ever seen. Perhaps this streak of luck has just begun.
Fascinating, isn't it? I pored over the ancient texts and found scarcely a mention of you. I barely believed you existed till I saw you with my own eyes. With your help, my research is proceeding smoothly. You have my thanks.
This is our world?
It has been estimated that Eos came into existence some 4.5 billion years ago. Ancient myths tell tales of 6 protector gods who first alighted upon Eos in the ancient Solheim era. Fossils thought to be remains of the oldest members of the human race were discovered in the Pistala region. Some claim that humans discovered fire in the Sukarp region even before the dawn of the Solheim civilization. According to legend, the fire god Ifrit first bestowed his burning wisdom upon a man who later sat the throne of Solheim. The mechanized civilization of Solheim is presumed to have originated in the Diskai and Klain regions. Exactly when the civilization rose and fell, however, remains the subject of much investigation. The enormous crevasse separating the regions of Klain and Duskai is known as Telpar Crag. It is here that the War of the Astrals is said to have taken place. When Ifrit tried to reduce mankind to ash, the other gods fought back, and some claim this clash caused the collapse of Solheim. It is said that Ifrit, having lost the War of the Astrals, was interred atop the Rock of Ravito. After the war, the ice goddess Shiva allegedly sank into a deep slumber, nestled in the Goravas rift of Vollup. To this day, no one knows what became of the blade god Bahamut. The earth god Titan can be seen supporting the meteor at the heart of the disk of Kothis in Duskai. As for the storm god Rama, legend has it he sealed himself away within Fosha Hollow in Duskai. The sea goddess Leviathan disappeared in the wake of the war. Some say she swam below the waves and slumbers beneath the city of Altisha. Some 2,000 years ago, the gods granted Somnus Lucis Kylum 2 gifts: the sacred stone and ring. With these in hand, he founded the kingdom of Lucis. In the centuries since, Lucis has managed to expand its territory while struggling to suppress a parasitic plague. As of ME 722, Mor's Lucis Kylum sits the throne as the 112th monarch of his line. Regis Lucis Kylum is King Mor's firstborn son, and first in line to succeed his father. Angelgard, off the coast of Golden Key, is an uninhabited island that Lucians regard as sacred ground. Ancient texts tell of a monster known as Adagium supposedly sealed away within, but investigations into its existence have yet to provide conclusive evidence. Soon after the establishment of the Kingdom of Lucis, House Fulleray founded the nation of Tenebrae. The Empire began its occupation of Tenebrae in ME 359, a move that was initially met with much apprehension. In order to assuage the dissenters, the Empire preserved the Oracle's home of Fenestala Manor. This concession was partially made for political purposes. House Fleury enjoys close ties with the line of Lucis. The Accordo Protectorate has developed into a bustling league of towns at the heart of maritime trade. In ME-606, the Empire won an important battle against the allied forces of Lucis and Accordo, and in turn, annexed the Protectorate. The country is steeped in traditions and cultures that are incompatible with Imperial rule, so the Empire has permitted it a measure of relative political autonomy. Centuries after the founding of Lucis, a movement to revive the lost civilization of Solheim arose around the Weltham region. Leading the charge was House Aldercat, whose brave deeds brought about the rise of the Niflheim Empire. The Empire built upon Solheim's magic technology and employed it for military use. This new firepower helped the Empire fell its foes, taking Tenebrae in ME-359 and Accordo in ME-606. As of ME-722, under the direction of Emperor Aedalus Aldercat, the Empire is developing new arms fusing magitech with demons. Vestiges of the ancient Solheim civilization can still be seen in the ruins of Piteous and Steeleth Grove. Several ancient structures also dot the forest of the Fall Grove that encircles Castlemark Tower. Excavation of these various sites is currently underway. In ME-501, during an expedition in the Ulwat region, the Imperial Army discovered a new species known as demons. It has been estimated that Eos came into existence.
At center, we see what I presume to be Lucian warriors and the kings of yore. I've learned a great deal about the first king of Lucis, but I never knew he was second in line. It seems to depict a legend in which the chosen king dispels the darkness. If that's true, does that mean Lucis intends to someday stand above all others? Their trifling tales mean nothing in the face of our superior technology. Only we can restore balance to our world. At the top of the painting, we see the Oracle herself. The bloodline of the Oracle is one of the oldest in Eos, originating with Eromirus Fleury. Only they possess the power to commune with the gods. This painting depicts the Oracle as some goddess of light herself. She'd doubtless prove a powerful ally if she could be persuaded. On the sides of the frame, we see the Hexathian. Conspicuously absent is the traitorous god of fire who started the Great War of old. Perhaps developing a deeper understanding of the demons will bring us closer to comprehending their divine counterparts. But what if I were to find a way to combine those two disparate elements? By my estimation, the grotesque creatures depicted here are likely demons. Could this mean these monsters will be harbingers of the apocalypse? If only we could find a way to harness their power for ourselves.
The line of Lucis was chosen to eradicate evil from Eos, and with the divine on their side, how could they fail?
This must be how the gods feel looking down upon our world. Here we have a model of imperial territory. It includes our present lands as well as our future acquisitions. Feel free to have a look.
Given the demon's aversion to light, they typically stick to the shadows until the sun fades and the night falls. Adagium, however, is different. Unlike his demon brethren, he can still function uninhibited in broad daylight. Of course, the ultraviolet rays harm him, much like they would any other demon. Yet his cells regenerate quickly enough to essentially negate the damage.
It stings. Like the light of the sun. Perhaps I'd best cover up.
There's something you should see. Come with me. I found something most interesting on the Rock of Ravito. If my experiment on this specimen succeeds, it might provide the information you've been looking for. This way.
Is that?
Ifrit the Infernian.
You subjugated a god and brought him here?
He was sound asleep, just like the legend said he'd be, so we put him on ice. Do you think you could turn him
into a demon?
If you managed to demonify a deity, you could learn truths no mere mortal could ever dream of knowing. You'll access 2,000 years of his memories, and if you can control him, he'll be a weapon of supreme power. It's certainly an enticing offer, isn't it? Just think you could exact sweet revenge through divine retribution.
How do you know what I want?
I don't, but I know you have no other options. Well, shall we? Come see the fruits of my Magitech research. This way. The ancient civilization of Solheim, forefathers of our magic technology, once flourished on this land. Had they not incurred the wrath of the gods, they may have remained prosperous to this day.
And you wish to restore them to greatness?
To surpass them, which is why I need you to lend me your strength. But I'm certain magic technology and demons are the keys to unlocking the door to a new future. Lucians? But how?
Kunmi Squad, Adagium sighted. Initiating
Requesting
engagement.
backup from Nimbus Squad.
Shutting down communications until all clear.
So, you've come to kill me, have you?
Or die trying.
Just as you and humans are right, satisfaction my so I may be gone, my city was on the
Don't let him escape!
a kingdom you can no longer call your own.
Got you!
Would you have lost us? I am busy building. You monster! Perhaps you ought to sleep away.
Here goes!
That girl created your
Stay back!
This power!
So this is it.
I hope you know it's your fault, Aaron. You deserve to wander the darkness for all time. You would be caught up in lies. Don't you realize that you're not?
Blast! He's alive. Must stop him before he destroys everything. Oh, Infernian, grant me the power to take Somnus, his people, and his cursed kingdom, and burn them all to the ground! No! I was the one chosen to be king?
Ardyn.
Era.
Forgive me.
Huh?
I defied the will of the gods and revealed to Somnus you had been chosen to be king.
Huh?
I never dreamt he would try to kill you.
But he did. Somnus fooled everyone so he could usurp the throne. Everything that happened, it's all his fault.
No! Listen to me. It's my fault. I'm the one who ruined your future. This was divine retribution for my sins.
You've no sins to atone for. Gods! Answer me! Why have you burdened us with this fate? Era! Oh no! Era! Please!
In the names of the gods above, fulfill your calling, Ardyn, and punish me for my sins!
Era!
Kill me!
That's right. Kill her. Put that monster out of its misery, just like I did.
I can't. My calling is to save lives.
Just like you saved that innocent man by turning him into a demon.
Please, Ardyn. You must live.
I can't. Not without you.
Come. Why not give the lady what she wants? Allow me.
No! I'll never forgive you, Somnus. This monster may not be able to destroy you, but I'll see to it that I destroy everything you built. Hear me, gods above. No longer shall I supplicate you for pardon. No longer shall I sojourn toward the light. Nay, the path I intend to tread is paved with blood and darkness. No longer shall I seek your guidance. This path is mine to tread alone.
The Empire's demonic experiments bore fruit before long, precipitating the production of a Magitech infantry. As recognition for his contribution to this research, Ardyn Azunia was inaugurated as Imperial Chancellor. Thanks to its newfound firepower, Niflheim managed to break the stalemate that shackled the nation for more than 100 years, and, in turn, forced Lucis to scale back its magical barrier. The untimely passing of King Mors ushered in the era of a new monarch, and the young Regis Lucis Kylum succeeded the throne. Meanwhile, Ardyn began to spread the Star Scourge throughout the world, stealing people's memories and learning as much about the kingdom as he could. In time, those memories began to merge with his own, gradually transforming him into a wicked echo of his former self. And now, at long last, the time for his revenge has come.
Attention, an enormous unidentified life form has appeared near the Citadel. The creature has begun spewing flames, turning the area surrounding the Citadel to a sea of fire. All citizens must evacuate
Testing,
immediately.
1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Greetings, people of the Kingdom of Lucis. Do forgive me for interrupting the festivities, but I must tell you, this day of rapturous revelry shall be your last. Call it divine retribution. False kings and fraudulent nations are fated to perish.
Sins of the past must not go unpunished. The time of reckoning is at hand. And today you shall atone on behalf of your forebears.
Who is he? We've yet to ID him.
Resist if you wish, but know that your fight against fate is a foolish and futile one.
Whoever he is, it's clear he wishes us harm. You stay here. I am going to put a stop to this madman.
Well, time to set to work.
Attention all units, this is your captain's. Code Red, I repeat, Code Red. Follow your commander's orders and get the situation under control.
Everybody cares dead. The wonders of technology.
Cancel each other's team, anyone but the backstabber. It's the obvious one, but if it really not blood money, I'm the only one cautious. They're not about to be like no
Enjoy.
Ready for you. Just starting.
Look sharp.
Clarus here. Have you identified the creature? Not yet, but we believe it to be demonic in nature. A demon. But how could it possibly withstand the daylight? For now, help the citizens evacuate. The Vanguard will take care of the job. Absolutely, sir. The Crown's Guard is almost wiped out, sir. Target is still on the move. Special forces are on the way. Try to hold out until they arrive.
Oh dear, you look like you've seen a ghost.
Engaging the target. He's so strong. Sending backup. Don't let him get away.
Scared. This is going to hurt.
Living darkness, pitch black starless. Feel heartless, my mind's darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I take off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm clowning all of y'all done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance. Forgive is what you get for your purchase. I can't hate it, darkness. Now there's nobody else. Do or die, it's real toughness.
Not bad.
Currently engaging the target. Sir, I don't think he's one of us. Then what the hell is he?
Look sharp. Perish! Is this truly the best Lucius can muster? Over here! Take this! Your time has
Sir, we've identified the giant. It's the Infernian. They've reached the Infernian. Astral? Yes, sir. One of our officers seems to be controlling the Infernian, but we can't get an ID on him. What? Find out who he is at once. Seems to be some kind of disturbance. What's going on?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Now I need you to locate and destroy the devices amplifying the wall.
As you wish. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Now where in the world might those dastardly devices be?
I've marked the location of all the devices they're using to amplify the wall. They seem to be positioned on rooftops around the city. Find them and destroy them.
With pleasure. I'll be sure to keep you abreast of my progress. No rest for the wicked.
Living darkness, pitch black storming. Feel heartless, but
Going
mind's darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I take off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm clowning all of y'all done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance. Forgive is what you get for your purchase. I am an ancient arms of darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die.
Well, shall we get started? This is going to hurt. That was thoroughly disappointing.
The closest ones coping, the ones who break your neck in your sleep. That's how they do it. But I got to think you're a border lesson. Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with defense. I don't know they better know what's really at stake. It's my choice now, watch me retaliate.
Sworn to vanquish all who would besmirch this simple place. All trespassers shall be eliminated.
Oh dear. The kingdom's defense budget is surely nothing to scoff at. Over here! Keep on! This is going to hurt.
Prepare yourself.
Look sharp. It's over. Perish. This is going to hurt. I pray you won't disappoint. Praise be to the gods above!
Must stop you.
It seems there's another line of defense waiting to Over here, enjoy. Keep on.
This is it.
Not bad.
Must stop you. This is it.
Where's your head? Not bad. Said their hearts. Oh, hail the Almighty!
No one can fully understand anyone, but the backstabber is the obvious one. But if it ain't not by me, I'm the only one cautious. A lot of bother me like lonely one's nothing. The most wanted, the most
One device down.
It doesn't seem to have had any effect just yet. Keep going for now. Sir, one of the wall amplifiers. Been destroyed. But why would he target them? Is this a nip attack? We haven't sighted any Imperial soldiers inside or outside the wall, sir. Then they must have sent him to do the dirty work. Stop him at once, sir! But this is what you get for your purchase. Like hammer, ancient arms of darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die, there's real toughness.
Feel the wrath of an outlaw locked up. Prepare for chaos, the king's here, so come here. Become the king of the kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place for me. Everybody's bully, pride chewing, trust no one, fully, the closest ones coping, the ones who break your neck in their sleep, that's how they do it, but I got to think you're for the lesson, now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with his vengeance, they better know what's really at stake, it's my turn now, watch me retaliate. No one can fully understand anyone, but the backstabber is the obvious one. But if it ain't not by many, I'm the only one. Shooter spotted! Follow me like lonely one. Look shot!
How lucky you are to know the sweet release of death. Perhaps I'll take the high road.
Take this!
Stay back! Don't hold back now!
So this is it.
Not bad. This is going to hurt.
Defend the city at all costs!
I swore to vanquish all who would besmirch the sacred place. The trespasser shall be eliminated.
Where's your head? Praise be to the gods above! It's over!
Prepare yourself!
In times of crisis, they call upon the kings of yore to come to their aid. Bless their souls.
Things are going swimmingly.
Wonderful. Here's hoping you can continue unimpeded. He's going after the wall amplifier, sir. They took out another one? I'll station reinforcements around the amplifiers. Sir.
Over here! Oh! Oh dear, did I do that?
Who goes there?
Enjoy. This is going to hurt. I must say, I expected more from you. Where's your head? Pipe down, would you? Well, better luck next time, I suppose. How tragically weak you are. Over here! Oh dear, did I do that?
It's my turn now, watch me retaliate.
Where's your head? Going... Perish! I'm afraid you're being cut from the force. It's over! Well, shall we get started? Look sharp! How's that?
Forgive me, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. Perish!
Back up!
Behold!
Overhead monster!
Now then, my friends, let the killing begin! How lucky you are to know the sweet release of
I have sworn to vanquish all who would besmirch this sacred place. All trespassers shall be eliminated.
Where's your head? Not bad. The king must be in his castle. This is going to hurt. Oops. Enjoy. Over here.
Must stop this. No. This is it. Must stop this.
Almost done. How does it look?
Quite promising. We should be able to break through the barrier with a well-timed assault. You ought to evacuate lest you get caught in the crossfire.
Yes, but there's something I must attend to first. I've got a king to kill.
What? That wasn't part of the plan.
I finished my work. Now it's time to play.
But we...
No, Barnes. You just stick to your plan and keep the boys in black busy for me. Now, off to see His Majesty who lives in the house that Somnus built.
What's the situation? Unfavorable. Target has been destroying all the wall amplifiers. Who is he? We can't identify him. He's a skilled combatant. Burning is under control. I fear we must prepare for the worst.
Take this! Defend the city at all costs! Begin the attack!
Prepare yourself.
never fall!
Take this! So this is it.
Is this truly the best Lucius can muster?
Eliminating him!
Poster! Over here!
So this is elimination.
Perish! Don't hold back now!
Take this!
It's over! Over here!
Here he comes!
Not bad! Oh dear, you look like you've seen a ghost.
In the city at all costs! Now!
Not even close. All hail the Almighty! Over here! Perish! Think you can kill me? I'd love to see you try! Look sharp! Can't say you didn't try. Perish! That's going to be hard to fix. This is going to hurt. This is nothing. Your time has come.
Trust no one fully. The first one.
How lucky you are to know the sweet release of death.
Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with this
Give up!
what's really at stake.
Pathetic. Perish! Well, I suppose I'll just have to kill you all at once. It's over! Over here! Look sharp! With my hand, y'all still can't catch me.
I swore to vanquish all who would besmirch the sacred course. All trespassers shall be eliminated.
Where's your head?
Prepare yourself.
Where's your head? This is going to hurt. Dance! Over here! Keep on! Over here! Keep on!
Chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. The path to chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Do it how you want it.
How tragically weak you are.
Living tall, this pitch black starless. Feel heartless, my mind's darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I check off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm gliding all of y'all done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance, but this is what you get for your purchase. I am an ancient of the darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die, it's real toughness. Feel the wrath of an outlaw locked up. The path of chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, or a kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. Everybody's fully bright jury, trust no one fully. The closest ones could be the ones to break your neck in your sleep. That's how they do it. What I got to think you're for the lesson. Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with this vengeance. They better know what's really at stake. It's my turn now. Watch me retaliate.
Perish! Where's your head? It's over! That was thoroughly disappointing. Perhaps I'll take the high road. Begin the attack! Here goes that! Stay back! Over here! This is going to hurt. Next! Oh, giving up the hunt already? Ha! Defend the city at all costs! Perish! Chaos begins here. Not even close. Target acquired! Commencing elimination! Oh dear, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I have sworn to vanquish all who would besmirch this sacred place. All trespassers shall be eliminated.
Where's your head? Praise be to the gods above! This is going to hurt. Over here! It's over! I pray you won't destroy. I expected more from you.
Everybody's bully, blind chewing, trust no one fully. The closest ones could be the ones to break your neck in your sleep. That's how they do it. But I got to think you're for the lesson. Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with his vengeance. They better know what's really at stake. It's my turn now, watch me retaliate. No one can fully contain anyone but the backstabber. It's the obvious one. But if it really not by me, I'm the only one conscious. A lot of bother me like the only one nothing. The most wanted, the most taunted. Get ready for the rock with your story. Think twice if you think you can stop me. I walk with my hands out, still can't catch me. The king's here, so come here. Become the king or the kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, how you wish you like it.
Oh, too bad. How lucky you are to know the sweet release of death.
Living darkness, pitch black starless. Feel heartless, my mind's darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I check off everybody on my list. Somehow this is like a circus.
Over here.
I'm a service. These get ready for some disturbance. This is what you get for your purchase. I can't get off the target. Now is somebody else just us.
Scared. Shall we dance? Over here.
Now you're messing with a man. You can bet you got to go. And know what's really at stake.
Your time has come. Oh dear, did I do that? Where's your head? This is going to hurt. Perish! Over here! Perish! Where's your head? Enough already. This should be fun. Now! Enjoy. Oh! Stay back! Perish! Is this truly the best Lucius can muster? Oh dear, did I do that? Where's your head?
Like a circus, I'm planning all of your done at my service. Get ready to go service. Forget what you can't do, you're searching. Came an agent on the darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die.
All swords are vanquished. All who would besmirch the sacred course. All trespassers shall be eliminated. Prepare yourself.
Where's your head?
Prepare yourself.
It's going to hurt.
Prepare yourself!
I pray you will just... Where's your head? Can't say you didn't try. Over here.
That's going to be hard to fix.
Look sharp. Over here.
Now you're messing with a man who's
I have sworn to vanquish all who would besmirch this sacred place. All trespassers shall be eliminated.
Look sharp. Where's your head? Not bad. Praise be to the gods above!
you're the team anyone, but the backstabber is the obvious one. But if it ain't not,
How tragically weak you are.
Only empty. Barracks have been destroyed. The enemy forces have begun their infiltration. I'm going in, as will I. No, Your Majesty. You must get to safety at once. I have sworn to safeguard the future of our nation, so I must be on the front. As you wish, Your Majesty. For the future of Lucis, together we fight.
Chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom. However you like it. This is the place to be.
So close. That was thoroughly disappointing.
Where's your head?
Pathetic.
My purpose is to get my target until I take off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm clowning all of your done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance, but this is what you get for your purchase. I am an agent of the darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die, there's real toughness. Feel the wrath of an outlaw locked up. At the chaos, the king's here, so come here. Become the king of the kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. My mind's consumed with fury. Everybody's bully, blind jury. Trust no one fully. The closest ones could be the ones to break your neck in a sleep. That's how they do it. But I got to think for the lesson. Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with his vengeance. They better know what's really at stake. It's my turn now. Watch me retaliate. No one can fully understand anyone, but the backstabber is the obvious one. But if it ain't not binary, I'm the only one conscious. A lot of bother me like lonely one's nonsense. The most wanted, the most taunted. Get ready for me, look what you're starting. Think twice if you think you can stop me. I walk with my hands out, still can't catch me. I'm back to chaos, the king's here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. But back to chaos, the king's here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. The path to chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go to kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. Living darkness, pitch black starlit. Feel heartless, my mind darkens. My purpose is to get my target until I check off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm clowning all of your done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance, but this is what you get for your purchase. Shame and ancient called the darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die, there's real toughness.
Over here! Perish! Well, better luck next time, I suppose.
How lucky you are to know the sweet release of death.
Over here!
Pathetic.
Everybody's bully, pride chewing, trust no one fully. The closest ones could be the ones to break your neck in your sleep. That's how they do it. But I got to think you're for the lesson. Now you're messing with a man who's obsessed with his vengeance. You better know what's really at stake. It's my turn now. Watch me retaliate.
Keep on! Pipe down, would you? Look sharp! Perish! Look sharp! Perish! I must say, I expected more from you.
Chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go the kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. The path of chaos begins here, so come here. Become the king, go the kingdom over here. Do it how you want it, however you like it. This is the place to be. Living darkness, pitch black starless. Feel heartless, my mind darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I check off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm glad all of y'all done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance, but this is what you get for your purchase. I am an ancient of the darkness. Now there's nobody else, just us. Do or die, there's real toughness. Feel the wrath of an outlaw locked up.
Perhaps I'll take the high road. This is going to hurt. Stay back. Where's your head? Can't say you didn't try. Shall we dance? Perish! Now then, my friends, let the killing begin! Not even close. Your time has come. This is going to hurt. Over here. Ew, that is close. Oh dear, did I do that? Look, sharp! Over here! Enough already. Pathetic. Kaboom! Look sharp! Oh dear, did I do that? Perish! Over here! Look sharp! Forget this what you get for your urgent. I am an ancient walls of darkness. Now there's nobody else to that is close. Over here. Where's your head? Over here. That's going to be hard to fix. Here he comes! Ha! Where's your head?
Confirmed sighting of multiple Imperial dreadnoughts outside the wall. It was the Empire after all. Can't afford to lose. Attention, first wave personnel. Prepare for deployment.
Here he comes! Target acquired! Eliminating him!
Perish! Not even close. Scared.
Here goes!
Enjoy. Not bad. Next. Is this truly the best Lucis can muster? This is going to hurt. It's over!
Begin the attack! Defend the city!
Set their hearts.
Here goes! Here goes! Such power!
All hail the Almighty! Whoops!
Damned monster!
Don't hold back now! This is going to hurt! Over here!
This is what you get for your urgent. My hammer ancient off the darkness. Down here, burn out the kills. Do or die. It's real toughness. Here he comes!
Over here! Oh, giving up the hunt already. Your time has come.
Such power.
I pray you won't This is going to hurt. Praise be to the gods above!
Are we clear to infiltrate?
But of course. Make yourselves at home. I have some other business to attend to, so I'll leave you to yours.
What's really at stake? It's my turn now. Watch me retaliate. No one can fully understand anyone, but the backstabber is the obvious one. Ready for this? Look, son! Like nobody wants nothing. The most wanted, the most torn.
Oh my, what big walls you have! All the better to look down upon his enslaved subjects from. Time to call in a favor with the king, and have him summon my beloved brother.
Something wrong, officer?
Ah, you must be His Majesty.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Why are you here?
Why, for you.
The Royal Arms. Who are you?
You ought to know, being a man of royal blood yourself.
Adagium.
In the flesh. Here to bring the bloodline of Lucis to an end.
Oops. Hear me, Adagium. On my honor as king, I will vanquish you.
What an awful thing to say to your own flesh and blood.
Say your prayers!
Oops.
Try this! Not even close!
Such power. Yes. I'm afraid that trait seems to have something to
He must be stopped.
Must I? Really? By whom, may I ask?
Here goes.
I expected more from the legendary king of Lucis.
I would certainly hate to disappoint. No quarter for you.
Over here! Enjoy.
Try this!
Keep on.
Too slow.
Take this! Not bad.
Having trouble keeping up.
You're mine! It's over!
Brace yourself. Having trouble keeping up.
Say your prayers!
Are you all right? You're beginning to look the worse for wear. You're worse than ever once I've seen you away for good.
Take this!
So confident and yet so in disgust.
Not even close. Enjoy.
No.
Mustn't give up. Come, let it win. It's over!
Brace yourself.
Over here!
Try this! It's over!
Not bad.
Try this! It's over!
Say your prayers! Take this!
Too slow.
Where's your head? Oops. Keep on. Try this!
This wall shan't fall! I swore. Protect my people.
Done already? But the fun's just begun. Summon the old wall.
How do you know about that?
I've heard the souls of kings reside within those statues. Of course, that's only hearsay. Why not summon the wall so we can see for ourselves? What I wouldn't give for a chance to speak with the Founder King himself. Come out, Somnus! The longer you wait, the longer he'll suffer! Huh? Is he dead? Oh dear. Perhaps I don't know my own strength. Huh.
you for years. 2,000, in fact. And whose fault do you think that is? Who could have exiled me as a monster and erased me from the face of history?
You tainted, unfit to sit the throne. Please, brother, return to the darkness whence you came.
Now? But I'm having so much fun! To think I get the pleasure of killing you myself! What's wrong, dear brother? You're afraid to put down your expensive toy and come face me yourself? Let the game begin.
This is no beginning. Only the end. This is preposterous. How could one so impure possess such power? I was right to have sealed you away. You truly are a monster, brother.
Don't be facetious. The only monster here is you.
No escape! The gods blessed you as their children. The people adored you as their savior. I was neither powerful nor popular. Just envious, perhaps.
Perhaps. Don't make me laugh.
On guard! I yearned desperately to be special, yet I had nothing to set me apart. FIZZYGLOW.
Until you stole it from me. You ripped it from my arms!
When I first donned the crown and put on the ring, my first received no call and I understood that the demons could not be allowed to remain in this world. That a sinner could not be allowed to sit the throne!
Lies! Burn this wretched nation to the ground.
what I did to you was unforgivable. But I did it for the future of our kingdom, of our people.
A small sacrifice for the good of society. How noble.
Our line has done everything in our power to protect our people, just as the gods bade. I was merely fulfilling my calling.
And here I thought I was the Blessed One, but it was you all along.
I dare not ask your forgiveness. I do ask your understanding.
What? You took everything from me. Everything. And you ask my understanding?
I pray your soul find repose, brother.
I shall not let thee become a slayer of kings.
Why? Why do the gods deny me my revenge?
Because thou hast been chosen to serve a different purpose. To spread darkness throughout the world is thy true calling.
Darkness?
Soon, the true king will be born unto Lucis. He shall lead the people as their beacon of hope, and drive away the darkness. In turn, thou shalt be his sacrifice, the limitless shadow that ushers in the light.
Why must I continue to suffer? Have I not already sacrificed enough?
The true king awakens, summoning the power of his forebears. He shall, at last, relieve thee of thy suffering. Then, the line of Lucis shall come to an end, and the revenge thou seekest shall finally be found. So it is ordained, and so shall it be.
You say, I am not the savior of man, but his sacrificial lamb. And that I live only to die by the hand of the heir to an ill-gotten throne. That is the fate the gods have chosen to bestow upon me!
The very same. Defy thy destiny if thou dare, but know that it will grant thee a life of darkness unending, devoid of death's reprieve. What say thee, Ardyn?
Not once have I begged the gods for such a blessing. And I do not intend to kneel before you now.
Thine impudence shall prove thine undoing, foolish mortal.
Oh, I'm no mortal. I'm a monster. The path men tread was never meant for me. Mine is paved with blood and darkness.
Pitiful creature. If thou wilt fight against fate, so shall it be.
naught but haunt my tortured soul. Please, Hera, won't you free me from this curse? Pierce my heart if you must, but you will never kill my resolve.
The gods who rule above and the men who reign below shall lend their strength to the King of Kings. Only a fool would defy such opposition. Though mankind may not realize, everything in this world is preordained. Man exists solely by the grace of the gods and cannot live without. Resist if thou must, but know thy struggles are in vain.
Am I alive? Oh, does it matter? Perhaps not. Nothing matters. None of it. Not the blessed gods above, nor the accursed kings below. To hell with them all. All that matters is I have my revenge. I will spread this scourge across the earth, lure out this king of light, and kill him. Then, the entire world of Eos will be drenched in the darkness of despair for time eternal.
Alright. Thoughts. It's a bittersweet story, but like I said before, I almost feel like I would have preferred it to be a part of the game. It's a novel. It is part of the game. It's right here, right? I'm playing it. But For the portion at the end, which was fair as DLC, I would say the first part of it would have been great. It's almost like a precursor prologue. I'm part of the team that still believes that, you know, even the movie should have been within the game, like as cutscenes or something. There's a lot of things I feel shouldn't have been segmented the way they were, but for development reasons, I understand why they did that. So story-wise, be what it is, I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I love more Ardyn, so I can't be mad in any way. What I do wish wasn't the case was that it ended on such a weird, ambiguous note. So I'm going to actually play the ending again and see if I can check out the other option, see if it changes the ending. So I'm going to put that in this episode as well. As far as the gameplay goes, however, that was fucking awesome. It was so fun. He's way more fun to play than even Noctis. Was it better than episode Prompto? No, but I think that's a personal preference thing. I know people that prefer Gladio, people prefer Ignis. I always thought Prompto was the most fun. But this definitely is, like, in terms of gameplay, probably my second favorite. And just the way you could explore all of Insomnia, especially climbing the rooftops, like you really see the detail in the world they built, and I think that's awesome. I kind of wish you could check out some of the rooftop areas and climb some of the stairs more and check out some stuff in the actual in-game dungeon. It's pretty expansive. I do like the final chapter most of Final Fantasy 15. Like, that whole section where you're going through Insomnia is amazing, but I do wish it was as expansive as this is, and I'm glad this is part of the game because it's still really cool to play. As for, you know, Ifrit being your limits, that's kind of cool. I wasn't really sure how that last one worked. I think it was just a buff for Ifrit and puts him out a little longer. But while that was cool and all, I definitely found that the Meteor Strike was definitely the best move in the end. So I definitely was using that more often than anything else. The general combat, his Warp Strike's like the same thing as Noctis. That's something special. His combos kind of work the same, though it might be a little jarring since he does instant like dodges and goes behind the person for the backstabs. So you have to kind of get used to that. And he's really wonky when he goes into that desperation mode at the end, but I think that's kind of on purpose because you're not supposed to have as much control, and it's like kind of, that's your chance that you could actually lose. Oh, hey, more gameplay. One sec.
You're out of luck. Off my chair, Jester. The king sits there.
Okay, maybe not more game, but, you know. Yeah, it was great. I actually really liked it. It added a lot of the lore I was like really going for a good score, so I'm glad. I was really impressed with how they kind of brought the story elements in. I didn't really like that some of that stuff in the beginning wasn't in the base game, but I do appreciate that it's in the game now, because a lot of it's you only gotta find in like the extended lore if you go out of your way looking for it. Oh, calm down, PS4. A little loud there. It was awesome though. Like, I definitely am glad that stuff was in there. Another thing I found that was really interesting was how often you found yourself in battle. I think it was a nice balance between giving you kind of rest spaces to explore the world, find treasure and stuff, and definitely fight the battles. But aside from, I guess, the 3 base enemies was like the spellcaster, the Crown's Guard with the shield, and then the katana wielding glaives. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good, but I feel like they could have done a little more. Maybe like 2 more enemy types would be cool. The Guardians were fine. I like that they kind of like layered them on at the end. Because you only had to beat what, like we saw 3 or 4, but there were 7 total, and I cleared them all, and it was like nice that there was like a progressive increase in the difficulty, and you felt that. I was hoping that we could maybe fight, I don't know, Cerberus or... Oh, well, actually, I guess Cerberus was in the chapter 14, so that's fine. But, like, you know, I was kind of hoping we'd fight other Guardians besides Somnus, the Rogue, and the Fierce. Primarily because those are the same 3 you fight as the final boss before you fight Ardyn. So it was a little... It felt like water was tread, you know? If they were going to do this, I was really hoping that we'd see or get to fight the other ones, because we haven't even seen, like, some of these others fight. Actually, what was this? We fought the Fierce with Gladio, Rogue with... I think there was one other, and I'm forgetting. No, maybe not. No, I think Somnus was just twice. I gotta play again, it's been a while. But either way, like, there's a ton of other ones. I was hoping we could fight them. The Regis fight was really cool. I'll give them that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Wasn't my absolute favorite of the DLC. Something Prompto is by far the best aesthetically, just in general interests in the story and the lore and what it adds, and overall package. But this was really, really close. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Definitely would recommend anyone who plays this game and has the full package to grab it, for sure.
once helpless and hapless prince, is he now ready to claim his crown? Don't let us down. Let the games begin.
No. Now they end.
A king at last! The 10 years you spent accumulating your power, I spent assimilating demons and accumulating mine. A king in name alone. I'm truly disappointed. Can't you do any better than that? 10 years, and nothing to show for it. Try this! How about the change of once more? See ya! This realm in darkness, this land of demons. Get a kick out of this!
Try this!
Close your eyes. Forevermore.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
The kid's got it bad. There are worse vices, I suppose. Rather sultry.
Yeah. Man, it's hot.
Then lose the jacket.
nice here.
Yeah.
I'm going all out. Just don't get too carried away.
Sure want to talk.
Done in a minute.
Time to spare.
One shot!
Uh-huh.
Never fear! Prompto's here!
It's on now. Well, here we are.
Oh, glad that's over.
Let's go back and play video games.
Go back where?
To our hotel room?
Not gonna happen.
Man, who knew Cora was such a badass?
I'm just glad he's on our side.
Someone's sending us a message.
Let Luna know I'm okay, and she won't have to wait much longer.
Unto the king alone this voice is heard. To follow the words is to follow the chosen path. Bridging heaven and earth it strikes, the storm's ephemeral yet eternal light. To the light must go the king.
Lady Lunafreya has done well to keep the ring from falling into enemy hands.
All we need to do is hit Altissia.
That entails passage aboard a ship. Kayam may serve us now as it did them then.
The hidden harbor. Just my work. I'll have Iris set it up.
So, in the meantime,
we head into the storm.
Another day, another deity.